Hello and welcome back to the Comfort Zone. We would be lying if we said that this was the first time we tried to film an episode today. We are very much having a brain fog, brain fart, brain...
All the brain malfunctions.
It's just not working today.
I don't know why. We can't put a pinpoint on why we're feeling like this.
Yeah, I think we tried to film an episode earlier. First of all, we probably just needed some lunch.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think we were putting too much pressure on ourselves, which has led us to this episode. As you can tell by the title,
We need to get it off our chests, I think.
I think we both need a little bit of a therapy session because we both have come to the realisation that we just deep absolutely everything. Not just things that happen in our life, but things that happen in our heads.
Yeah.
We deep our own thoughts. And earlier it was just making recording so difficult because everything we were saying, we were like, oh no, does that sound weird? And usually we barely cut anything out. So we were like, what's going on?
And it just spiralled on and on because you say one thing and you overthink the one thing and then you overthink everything even though you wouldn't have overthought everything. It's just because you overthought the one thing and then you just...
And then you're
it's a
overthinking the fact that you're
constant
overthinking and it's like,
Yeah.
So we thought, do you know what? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Start afresh.
Yeah.
Let's open up a little bit.
First of all, we will quickly go into our wins and wobbles probably because I have a really fun win that I just want to talk about, to be honest.
I'm so excited for you to share it with the world. I mean, it already has been shared with the world, but with our comfort zone friends.
What do we call them? Comfort zonies?
The comfort zonies. I would say the comforters, but
The comforters.
what's a comforter?
Isn't that like a
We
like a
comfort
baby
each
blanket
other.
in America? The comfies.
The comfies.
That makes me feel a bit ill, to be honest.
What else? What do you want to be called? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, make up a fan club name in the comments. Actually, I'm cutting that out because people will
No.
actually think I'm being serious. Okay, no one deeping what I'm saying. No.
Exactly.
No.
We honestly, it was for about an hour where we said about 3 sentences, and the rest of the time we were sat here going, I don't know what to say. I can't think straight.
Yeah.
I can't say that. I can't say that.
Yeah.
I can't speak English. What's going on?
Vibes. Straight
Yeah.
vibes.
Straight vibes. I'm doing it again. Going on a tangent.
No.
No, back to your win.
My win. Oh my gosh, the biggest win ever. No.
I mean, it is the biggest win ever.
I was about to say.
Don't overthink it.
I was about to say no. That makes me sound like I think that I'm better than. Shut up.
The way I've literally shouted in the mic because I feel so strongly
I'm going to apologise to headphone users.
about you not overthinking this win because
Yeah.
you deserve to be so proud of yourself and you deserve to scream it from the rooftops because you did that
Thank you.
and it's a huge achievement.
Yeah. Thank you.
So let it out.
Yeah. Well, my literal wobble was that I was anxious about this. So my win is I wrote a book.
She's an author, guys.
She's an author. I have spent the last over a year, pouring my heart and soul into a book, and I have loved writing my entire life. So this is like the biggest deal in the world to me, and I'm so excited about it. And I honestly cannot believe that it's happened because I've honestly always wanted to write a book, and I'm not just saying that. I used to write stories and try and write books when I was like 12, and it's just an absolute dream come true. And I've always loved writing to help people, and now I've done that, and I've written a whole book, and it's going to be published on the 19th of June, and it's called How to Talk to Yourself, and it's going to be out everywhere, and you can pre-order it now. And I just every time I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, is that actually real? Like I did that.
I mean, you have worked so hard for the past year. I know that you have put your absolute everything into these pages, and I know it's going to help so many people. You have no idea. I know that's why you were partly anxious because you were like, will anyone care? But
Yeah.
everyone does care, and I feel like we've proven that, we as in me and the community, because
Me and
we
the
all
girls.
appreciate you. Exactly. We're in this together, but no, we all appreciate you so much. And yeah, this book is just it's gonna change lives.
Every single comment I got on my post yesterday made me emotional. Like everyone was so lovely, and I wrote this book because I know how important the way you talk to yourself is, and the way that you live in your own head is. And I feel like there's so much focus on changing physical things in our lives, but so little about actually how we talk to ourselves, how we engage with ourselves, how that impacts our wider life. And I was so passionate about writing this book, and I put so much into it. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to know that this is what my secret project was. And what if I've put so much love and attention and care into it, and then everyone just goes, oh, we don't care. Which would never happen because everyone's so lovely. But like, I was scared.
It can be so easy to get in our heads about this kind of stuff because you have just worked on it for so long that you forget that people are going to read it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's been times where I've been writing stuff that is never heard before information. No, just stuff that I've never shared about myself. And I'm like, I'll write it and then I'm like, oh, this isn't my diary. This is like, this could be in a bookshop.
But that's what people love about you, because you're so real and so authentic, and it's going to be like reading, I don't know, not a text message obviously because it's a book, but do you know what I mean? It's going to be like reading your friend's thoughts because you are so connected to your audience.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh no, I'm so excited.
Emotional.
People have been pre-ordering it already. Like, I was so surprised. Obviously, in my head, I was like, I don't know why. I just was like, oh, everyone's just gonna scroll past and be like, cool. But people have been like so lovely. People have been pre-ordering it already. And by the way, the idea of book pre-orders, because I was a bit like, what's the purpose of people pre-ordering your book? I didn't really understand it. It's because bookshops like Waterstones, I guess Barnes and Noble in the US, bookshops will know what books are popular and kind of up and coming, and they will give them space in their stores. So because I'm a first time author and it's my first ever book, if people pre-order my book, then it will hopefully help my book get into bookshops potentially.
Imagine walking into a Waterstones, or is it Foyles? I know you love Foyles.
Oh yeah, Foyles. How did I forget Foyles?
Imagine you walk in there and see your book on the shelf.
No, I'll scream. I would literally burst into... The whole process has been so surreal because, as I said, it's been on my... I literally sent JC a screenshot the other day of my notes app from early 2023, and it was like, I'm going to set myself some goals. My first goal was write a book. I did YouTube videos a couple years ago where people were like, what would you like to do in the future? I was like, would love to write a book one day. I've done it, and it obviously took a lot of time and a lot of effort. But like the fact that I've done it and that someone wants to publish it, oh, no, I can't.
That is monumental.
Thank
and
you.
And I know past you is so proud of you, and future you is so proud of you, and everyone is so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
And never forget that.
Look at me accepting compliments. I'm saying
You've learned your lesson.
thank you instead of going, no, stop.
Oh,
thank you.
so exciting. I feel like the amount of work that's just gone into it, I feel like it doesn't even justify. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have written a whole ass book.
There's so many words in there, guys. Like, it's a whole lot of pages and a whole lot of words. But it's very practical, very helpful, very not draining to read. I'm going to say that. And also, I will leave the pre-order link in the description. That's what I need to remember to tell you, because if people ask me where to pre-order it and I've not put a link in, it's the sort of thing I'd do.
I was going to say, I have pre-ordered mine and I cannot wait to read it.
Oh my gosh.
Can't wait.
Okay, no, I need to not scream into the microphone because the poor people's ears. But yeah.
It's a deserved scream.
Thank you. That was a very gentle scream.
Get all the screams out.
Anyways, as I said, my wobble was just being anxious about that.
Which is valid.
I don't know if the level of anxiety I had was valid. My body was making me feel like I was literally being hunted by lions. Like,
oh,
this is like, I was posting an Instagram post about something really cool and fun that I'd done, and my body was like, oh my gosh, are we at war? Are we under attack? What's going on?
I didn't understand.
I haven't had that much anxiety since my dad was in open heart surgery last year. Probably was less than that, to be honest, because, no one's lives were at risk. But
the actual physical feelings that you were feeling.
Yeah, the feeling in my body, that feeling of like, is there a person sat on my chest right now? Because why can I not breathe? That feeling, until everyone was so lovely. And then I was like, oh, okay.
You have just proven to yourself once again that everything is going to be okay.
Everything always works out.
It does.
Always.
So proud of you. So proud of you for pushing through the anxiety. Sorry.
Thank you.
Getting out all
Thank
the
you. You're
compliments.
Being so nice to me. I'm
showering
no.
you.
No, bring them on. I was about to ask you what your when and your wobble was, because I feel like I spoke about my book a lot then.
As you should. Okay.
The topic of the episode is feeling very needed right now.
To be fair, I feel that in talking about your achievements and overthinking being proud of yourself, because it can often feel like I'm not putting words in your mouth right now, or this is not aimed at you, but it can often feel like you're being big-headed or bragging.
Yeah.
But like, you are allowed to speak about things that you care about and things that you have done, because why would you want to achieve something if you couldn't speak about it? Just had to get that off my chest.
I actually don't know how this looks on camera, but I am effectively lying down at this point.
Getting cozy.
Anyways.
I feel like you're really interested in what I want to say.
I literally am so close to you right now. I'm like,
let me talk to you.
I'll move back a bit.
No, we'll jump into everything I just said in the episode. But win and wobble, I mean, win. I had a great day yesterday. Had a productive day. Do you know what? I have not been to London in 2 months. Maybe 3. Beginning of December to January, February. 2 months.
Whoa.
And I went to London yesterday and it was fine.
Love that.
Yeah, which, not that I expected it to be bad, but I just don't really enjoy going into London that much. I don't really enjoy the travel. I live pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It's a trek to get to the station. Once you're on the train, it's fine. Yeah, it's just a long old process. It was at rush hour, it was busy. But I did it, and I still managed to have a full day, even after getting home, when normally that would drain my battery like crazy.
Yeah.
So I managed to get to London, get home, do everything on my to-do list like normal. What else did I do?
Didn't you have
Made
a call?
dinner.
Oh, you made dinner?
Oh yeah, I had another meeting when I got home.
Wow.
Made dinner, cleaned, phoned my mum.
Wow.
I felt like Superwoman yesterday.
Yeah, that is really impressive. I do feel like going to London and coming back and doing loads of things in the same day is kind of pretty impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, when people have multiple plans in one day, I'm always shocked, because if you have like an appointment at 3 p.m, that just ruins your whole day.
Literally day ruined.
Proud of myself for that.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I'll take it.
It came out so strange.
And me wobble.
And your wob.
Okay.
J-wob.
Jay's wob is, guys, if you're listening right now, please put the video on just for 2 seconds, because you're going to want to see this. That's all I'm saying. Resume video.
Office, Siren, Stuart Little, Girls Vogue. Stunning.
Oh, I can't take myself seriously. Also, I can't actually see, so I don't know where I'm looking.
Oh no, you've got double the
Where
prescription.
are you?
I'm here.
I bought myself some glasses. If you didn't know, we both wear glasses.
Yeah, we both need prescriptions very much. So.
Yeah, we're the same, aren't we? No, we can't see far away.
Short-sighted.
Yeah.
And I have astigmatism.
Yeah, so do I.
And a lazy eye, are they different things?
Yeah, they're different things. I don't have a lazy eye. I think I do, but not diagnosed.
Okay, undiagnosed lazy eye.
Undiagnosed lazy eye, yeah, true. Everyone has these oval Miu Miu glasses, and I have loved them on everyone else. I've been scrolling on TikTok. I feel like, oh, they're so cool. I want to be a cool girl.
Very high fashion.
Yeah. I just want to say that they don't suit me. Okay, and that's fine.
And that's your wobble.
And that's my wobble, and I was quite upset about it. I've been waiting for them to arrive for almost a month, and as soon as I got the package, I opened them, and I was like, oh, I'm not a cool girl.
You are a cool girl. It's just the oval glasses that look like they were made for the guy in Stuart Little. Just, I don't... You like them on everyone. I think I have oval glasses bad memories from when I was a child, because they were the glasses that I had when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 probably, and
Just a hater.
I didn't like wearing them. I didn't like my glasses. I just didn't like them, and so I think they just remind me of that.
But that's okay, because it's all just personal preference. I mean, if I think they looked really great on me and I still wanted to wear them, even though you didn't like them, I still would, because...
Well, yeah, I wouldn't, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, take them off.
I can't look at you.
Also, you managed to pull everything off. Like, I honestly think you could put like a bin bag on and be like, oh wow, you actually made that look good.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but it's personal preference, and these are not making me happy. But if they make you happy, that is wonderful, because I love when someone else wears them. I just don't feel like they're for me, and that's okay. It's okay.
I've seen quite a few people get those glasses. By the way, they're not the... How much are the Miu Miu ones?
I don't want to know, to be honest.
Because I saw someone buy the Miu... Oh my gosh, it's...
Miu Miu.
I saw someone buy those ones, which I'm pretty sure are like a couple £100.
I was going to say about that.
And they didn't like them, and then they were going to keep them anyway. And I was just like,
Why?
oh my gosh. I just...
So much money.
I think I just have stuff to unpack with wearing glasses, full stop.
Yeah, let's get into that, because I feel like growing up, glasses were always looked down on. Mm-hmm. Like, they just weren't cool. Like, if you wore glasses, you were not cool.
You were just immediately like a nerd or four eyes, or everyone just saw it as like, I don't know, everyone just thought they were weird.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I can't help it that I can't see.
Literally, would you rather I was walking into walls?
I don't know, it's funny, because when my sister was at school, I think she must have been in like year 5 primary school, so what's that, 10? 9,
8, 9, 10?
Yeah. And she had fake glasses from Claire's, and she managed to convince everyone at school that they were real glasses. And she forgot them one day, and her teacher was like, no, you have to sit at the front of the class. You can't see the board. She was like, how do I tell everyone they're not real? I can suddenly see again.
Guys, I woke up with 20/20 vision. It's a miracle.
Yeah. So she thought they were cool, and she wanted to wear them. But then I had them and didn't want to wear them, because I thought I was being judged by everyone. So
the feeling of glasses on my nose, I was so aware of them on my face. I mean, the whole appearance thing was another thing aside, but like the feeling of glasses on my face, I would wiggle them on my face all day, because they would never feel like they sat right on my face. When I got contact lenses, after a whole, I mean, the reason I got contact lenses was because I was so self-conscious wearing my glasses that I would take them off at school when I needed them the most, but because I didn't want to be at school with glasses on, and my teachers didn't know, so I wasn't sat at the front. I was just at the back getting massive headaches
And not
and
actually being
being
able to do anything.
completely unable to see. So I got contact lenses, which I haven't looked back mainly because of the feeling of them on my face. That's the reason I've stuck with contact lenses, because I actually don't mind the way I look in glasses now. It was the kind of sensory issue. I just wiggled them. I can literally picture the feeling right now. And even when I had contact lenses, a year later, even sometimes now, I still find myself doing it. I go to wiggle like imaginary glasses that aren't on my face. It was almost like, have I ever talked about the fact I kind of have little, not tics, but like twitches? I have always kind of had little twitches. When I think about it, I do it more as well. So it's like my thighs just started like spasming.
Twitches.
That's so weird. I'm like twitch and my whole body's like, yeah. I used to squint my eyes a lot. I still do it sometimes. It's not because they're dry, it's literally just a thing I do. And I also used to have this issue where I would constantly feel like I couldn't get a deep enough breath, and so I would always be doing this.
Trying to like breathe.
Yeah, I still do it sometimes. It's like this feeling at the back of my throat that I need to like make something feel like I cannot explain it.
Very interesting.
But my glasses did that for me. And they were like a nervous kind of twitch kind of thing.
Something to fiddle with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also they just bugged me so much. So honestly, I just think I didn't like them when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's funny how it changes, isn't it? Because it's something that people pick on you for, but now they're really cool. Because now the TikTok girlies are wearing them. So
you've literally just sat there and said, I wanted these oval glasses because they're so cool and high fashion, and the cool girlies are wearing them. And if you told that to 5-year-old me, I'd be like,
are you joking?
Are you kidding?
Literally. So,
but they're also, trends aren't built for everyone.
And that leads into all different kinds of trends as well. I feel like even with clothes, I've felt bad about myself when a clothes trend doesn't look right on my body. But how does a trend fit a million different bodies, a million different people, a million different everything? Like, it's impossible. Your body is not a trend.
Your body's not a trend, and you're not a trend.
And you're not a trend, and you don't have to live your life by trends.
No.
Live your life how you want to live it, and whatever makes you happy, do it.
You can be wearing the same jeans you're wearing right now in 5 years, and that is totally fine.
Yeah.
I have clothes from years ago that maybe they're not on trend anymore, but I still wear them because they make me feel good.
You've probably seen it if you follow me on Instagram. I have this nude puffy coat. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. It's honestly, the sleeves have gotten like black because it's so old and dirty. All the collar has gone all crusty and it's all falling apart. And yeah, it's been loved. But I've had that coat for, honestly, how old am I? 7 years?
How old am I? 7 years?
I was just doing the maths in my head. I think I was 16 when I got it, maybe. But I've had it for years and it's not the coolest thing, but still love it.
I think it's cute and it suits you.
Thank you. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
And I'm quite sad because they don't make it anymore and I'd love to get a new one just so it didn't have holes in it. But
oh, that's actually the worst, when you get used to having something or you love a product and then they discontinue it.
Yeah.
Such as, this is a tangent, but my Glossier highlighter. Guys, this is disgusting, but a confession.
Wait, is it the one that you've made me smell?
Yeah. It smells like old milk. I have a highlighter from Glossier that I bought. It must have been 2018, maybe 2019.
Makeup expires in a year, you know that.
Yeah. Sometimes 6 months.
I mean, all of my makeup I've had for way over a year, so I don't know why I'm shouting at you for that, but...
To be honest with you, they discontinued it, and that is the best highlighter I have ever used, and it hasn't run out yet.
So you're going to still use it?
It smells awful, but I haven't been getting acne on the tip of my nose, my inner corners of my eyes, or on my cheekbones, so I figure it's not doing me that much harm. It just smells a bit questionable.
What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that can
I
happen?
don't think anyone's going to get that close to smell it, so...
But, like, why did they discontinue it?
You were the only person that bought it.
I only bought one, maybe that's the issue.
Yeah. I was going to say, can you try and find one on Vinted, but then it would probably be used.
Someone else's old milk highlighter, maybe not.
Yeah, sad times. Please, Glossier, if you're listening, bring it back. And my coat is from Zara, which is not the greatest, but yeah.
Maybe you could find that on Vinted.
Exactly. If I could get it secondhand, I would get one.
I feel like we tangented a lot.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Did we?
Glasses, trends.
Oh, your lovely glasses that you don't love.
Yeah, you just started touching the wall and I just subconsciously
I know.
started
At the start of
copying
this
you.
episode, I was literally like just feeling up the wall like this, and then I was like, that probably looks so strange.
What
but
are you doing? And on that note...
Should we... What did I just...
I do that all the time. I literally...
No, but
that's something that I deep as well. Okay, can we... Right, I'm going to have to adjust myself here because I'm going to get really...
She's getting into it.
I'm getting passionate about this. Okay. I deep the way that I speak way too often. Confession. I'm going to open up here. like a one-on-one therapy session. I'm really enjoying it, actually. I feel like I adapt, not necessarily to the people I'm with, but the way they speak or act. I've probably noticed it in previous videos. I noticed it. Maybe I'm just very hyper aware of myself. I feel like I have mentioned it as well in another episode, but I copy people's actions a lot and like their sayings and their little quirks. I don't know, you'll do something and I'll just copy you and be like, okay, that was my thing.
Because I'm so cool. I'm a trendsetter.
I just want to be you.
No, I actually think that's more common than you think. Like,
Yeah.
I know some. Thing is, when I think about it, I think about all the people that don't do that, and I'm like, they just everything's so natural for them. How do they just do it?
And they're their own person. Like, everything they do is because it's from them. Whereas I feel everything that I do is an accumulation of every single person in my life and all of their quirks, and that's just me. I'm just like a walking copy of everyone that I've ever known.
I think that that's a nice thing.
I guess.
Because you've you've stolen.
Give it to me.
You've learned from all the bits of other people that you love,
Yeah.
the things that you love and the way you like to be.
Yeah, it's like that quote where, what? I don't know the quote.
The one that's like, you are a collection of all the people
That you love.
you love, or something like
Yeah.
that. Or you're
Or like-
a reflection.
I get very aware of that. It's quite funny because my boyfriend calls me out on it a lot. Not in like a, you're doing anything wrong, but it's just funny because like he'll start doing something funny and then like a week later I just start doing it randomly and I'm like, I've literally just become a version of you.
Do you know what you do, which I've never heard anyone else say, but
no.
he says, what does he say? Shame all the time.
No, and I know that. Wait, sorry, I'm getting so passionate. I know that's from him because when I say it, I'm consciously like, this isn't a British thing to say. My boyfriend's South African, just for context, so he has a lot of sayings that I've picked up on just from being around him 24/7. So I'm just gonna share them all. One of them is shame.
I said it a couple of times last week when I wasn't even near you, so I've done the same thing.
It's my go-to reaction now when anyone says anything. I just go, oh, shame.
Oh, shame.
Like, not even like a bad thing, because shame would be like a negative, like you feel bad for someone or something. It's like, oh, that's a shame for
No,
them.
you say it in like a, oh, that's sweet kind of way.
Yeah, not like they should be shameful or that's a shame because it's something so bad. I'm just like, oh, shame. There's another thing I do. I say yesy a lot. Have you noticed that?
Maybe.
Oh, yesy. What? That's not a British thing to say. What else do I do?
But then it makes sense because the person you spend the most time with is your
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Ish. If something's a bit like, I go, oh, ish. Have you noticed that?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe. No, I don't think I have noticed that.
I do that.
That's so
and then another
funny.
thing I say is like, just now. Like, so they have different ways to say in 5 minutes or in a while. It's like just now or now. And they have different meanings.
Oh, no, I don't say that.
Yeah, but I feel like just now is, I'll do it just now. So like I'll do it in like half an hour, an hour. And then I'll do it now is like, I'll do it in 5 minutes. Like I'll do it right now. Instead of saying, oh, I'll do it right now, I'll be like, I'll do it now. There's probably a million and one things, but I'm just like a little version
Amalgamation
of him.
of all his phrases.
Yeah, and just like little dances. Like, I don't know, if you do an action, I'll just start doing it. I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, but...
I honestly think that the reason that you think that's not normal is because you deep it. But
Yeah.
then I also do the same thing, so I'm saying that as if I'm preaching, like literally like the call's
Practice
coming
what
from
you
inside the house, girl. I feel like I do the same thing, and I feel like, because this is going to get really deep, and actually every time I've ever spoken about this, I've gotten really emotional, but
Oh.
I'm
like, oh no.
I thought you were like, can I say something?
No.
That's another thing, sorry. No.
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 I feel like I've got that from you.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that apart from you.
No. I think that's from
No.
you.
Whoa. No, okay. I can't stop saying the word no. This thing, no. That. But you go, no, all the time. Like,
Yeah.
no.
No. Maybe I am original in one way.
Okay, on a real note, I remember talking about this for the first time when I was in therapy. I wasn't even in therapy. I was just in like a session at CAMS, and I was like, I just feel like everyone else knows how to do life. Knows how to do life? Everyone else knows.
Stop.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone else knows how to do life, and they just have an innate understanding of it, and I just don't get it. I'm like, how do you just know how to do things and how to act and how to go into new situations and be like, and I've always felt like such an outsider because I just don't get how people just know how to do things, and I am always watching other people to learn how they do it, and like the idea of going first at something is always really scary to me because I'm like, but I'm not going to do it in the normal or the right way, and everyone else knows how to do it, so I need to watch them do it.
I've never heard something so relatable. I literally feel that. Even down to, this is a very specific situation, but I was at a Lululemon event and we had to do the classic thing of go around in a circle and say your name and say, what's your favourite thing about Christmas? And I had to go first. And honestly, I was absolutely shaking, sweating, everything. I didn't know how to answer the question properly. And I feel like it would be such an easy question for everyone else in the room. But I suddenly forgot what Christmas even was. And I was like,
I've never had one of those before.
no, and I think I did answer it wrong, I'm not going to lie, because everyone was like, what's your favourite tradition or what's your favourite thing about Christmas? And I said, my favourite thing about Christmas is that I'm going to be spending this Christmas with my boyfriend in my first home for the first time. But that's not a Christmas tradition. Do you know what I mean?
But maybe you just took the question quite literally and they all just took it in a different way. Like, that doesn't mean that you didn't answer it right. It just means that you thought about it differently.
Yeah, but then I was hearing everyone else answer their questions, and then I was sat there like, I've answered it wrong. I look like such an idiot right now. Everyone's going to judge me. Really, no one else in that room thought twice about what I said. Probably felt the same amount of nervousness as me about answering the question in a group setting with people that you don't know. But then does everyone else think about what they said that deeply after as well? Because I probably thought about that for like 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. I have a theory that I've had this theory for a long, long time. And actually, this is something that came up in the same cam session that I was just talking about. Wow, clearly got a lot to unpack from that one session like 8 years ago. I have always said that every thought I have, it feels like I have 7 layers of thoughts beneath it. And that's why so much therapy when I was younger didn't work, because I had already thought through every single thing that person was going to say. I'd already figured it out. It wasn't like I was 7 steps ahead. It was more that every thought I had was just layered. And I feel like there are people who have less layers behind their thoughts. So say every thought I have has 7 layers. There's probably some people who maybe sit more at like a 4 or like a 2, or maybe they literally just have the thought and
that's it.
There's no deeping it. But I'm a 7-layer thought kind of person, and so everything I say, everything I think about more. No matter how hard I try not to,
Yeah.
I deep everything.
I'm trying to think of how many layers I have when I think.
See,
I'm trying to think of thinking.
Obviously I'm not in your head, so like,
yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like you have a lot of layers, which is why
Really?
you're so emotionally intelligent, but also why we get along so well, because our brains work in quite similar ways.
Interesting.
Yeah, we think a lot about the same things, but there's a lot of people in life who, if I was to say like, oh my gosh, have you ever thought about this? They'd be like, why on earth would you ever worry about that? And it will be something that, so I don't know, even if I was like, oh, you know, when you go home from a social event and you're like thinking about how you acted, they'd be like, no. There are people like that. There are people that wouldn't deep it.
Hands up if you're one of those people, because I don't think any of those people are in the room right now.
If you are, we love you and we accept you. Can you give us some tips? How are you doing that?
But also I do feel that. I feel like I'm a person that thinks after something. So in the moment, I don't think about things as much as I necessarily should. But then I deep it after when it's kind of too late to change anything that's happened. I'm trying to think of a scenario to help explain this, but sometimes I'll just burst out and say stuff and then I'll be like, why did I not think before I said that? Whether that's in like meetings or just general conversations, I just wish I thought through what I said more before doing it, instead of wishing that I thought more about it after the fact, because then you can't change it.
But both of them bring a horrible amount of anxiety, because I'm quite a visual person, so like when I'm imagining this right now, I'm imagining my thought is here and I've got all the layers beneath it, and I'm seeing your thought with layers above it. So you're getting all the anxiety afterwards, I'm getting all the anxiety before. I also get anxiety afterwards, you probably also get it before, just in different ways. Like, to any degree, at any level, deeping everything in your brain and overthinking and second guessing everything you say, which we both do, it's just so draining.
Yeah, I feel that. That visualisation just blew my mind, low-key. Just have to put that out there.
Oh.
I feel like that's how I am, and it is draining. It's draining when you get into bed at night and you're just overthinking absolutely everything. And you find it hard to believe that no one else is thinking about you and what you did wrong.
Yeah.
When realistically, that's not the case.
They're asleep, honey.
Yeah, they've got so many other things to worry about. As harsh as it sounds, they don't care about you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though, like, every single person has a life as complex as yours. So you're going to go to bed tonight and overthink something that you said earlier. But I'm going to go to bed and think about something that I said earlier. I'm not going to think about what you said because I forgot what you said, because I've also got 101 other things going on in my life.
Yeah. Everyone is the centre of their own world, and that is okay. Like, that doesn't make everyone's selfish or whatever. Like, you are living your life from your perspective, so of course you're going to remember and be most focused on what you're doing. But it's really hard to actually realize that other people aren't doing that. Like, you didn't actually embarrass yourself to a point where everyone's going to be remembering it. There was a time when I was doing athletics as a kid, and I tried to do a high jump for the first time ever and fell over in front of everyone. And I know that my friend still remembers that because she still brings it up. But if I'm in a conversation and I stutter over my words, that night I'll probably be thinking, oh, they probably thought I was so like, no, when I said that. Granted, I do know how to talk myself out of that now. Buy my book? No. I still have those thoughts, like everything feels so much bigger
Yeah, that's the word.
to me than it would to anyone else. And there will be other people there that will have had the same experience where they've been like, everyone's thinking about this one thing that I did. And it's like, no, they're probably thinking about something they did, or they're not thinking at all.
I was going to say, or they didn't even notice it because we are so aware of ourselves and our own actions. I've probably done something today where I'm like, why did I do that? But you wouldn't have even thought twice.
No.
Vice versa. You know what I mean?
It's always that way. Like, when you realise that actually nobody is thinking about you, and nobody, like, everyone's spotlight isn't on you. I feel like sometimes I've gone through life living as if I'm in some kind of like social performance exam, and as if everyone's been like watching me to judge how I'm interacting with everyone in a social situation. Like, nobody actually really cares. I just have always felt like people are like picking up on every small thing that I do that I deem to be not normal, but like everyone's focused on themselves.
Yeah, and that's what can make you feel like a bit of an outsider as well. Especially in social situations, I feel like I never know the right etiquette. I feel like I never can understand cues of when to join in a conversation, when, I don't know, when you meet someone, do you give them a handshake? This, like, it's just scary, and I feel like I was never taught that. But then, do other people get taught that, or do they just know?
No, this is the thing. There's no class for it.
No.
But how am I meant to know how to start a conversation? Like, how am I meant to know the right way to just walk up to someone and start talking and have a conversation? How am I meant to know how to do all these things? Like, I don't, where are the etiquette lessons? Because I need them. I don't get it. And do you know what's so scary as well is, like, because we are very fortunate to be in this like industry, whatever, like, there are a lot of events that happen for content creators. It's so scary when you go to something that feels posh and you already feel out of place, and then you know you have to somehow behave in the right way for a posh event, because I don't even know how to behave in like a, like, I've sort of learned to laugh off any awkwardness and be like, oh my God, I'm so silly. I sort of lean into it now, because I realise that it kind of makes people feel comforted, if anything, when,
That's true.
when you're open about being nervous or anxious or whatever. But when you're in an environment where you are so expected to be able to act in the right way, or you're expected to just know what literally the etiquette for things is, like, no, the anxiety.
What kind of event are you speaking about? What environment have you been in?
I went to a Michelin star restaurant.
Oh.
And I would obviously never ever normally go to one of those.
I was going to say, I don't really even know what... Well, I know what they are. They have different stars for, like, the quality of food, no?
Yeah. To me, I was just like, I don't know how to, like, walk or act, or, like...
I forgot.
How am I putting my napkin? How am I... all of it. But...
What hand is your knife and fork?
Yeah.
What hand is your knife and fork? Great English. What hand does your knife?
What hand is knife and fork?
What hands do they go in?
Fork in the left, knife in the right? The other way around? No,
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
etiquette
who
lesson.
decided that's right as well? Sorry.
Yeah. It is weird when you actually think about the fact that we've all just made up these rules as humans, and that there's just one way to go about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's so stressful.
Yeah, that's true, because we're taught that there's only one right way to do something.
But then how does everyone else just learn the right way innately?
But then let's change that. There's no right way. I mean, me and you could make a good attempt at changing the world. I don't know if we could, but
the comfort zone takes on the world.
There's no right way to do anything. But it's so frustrating, because it's nice that we've come to the realisation that we're not alone, but when we're not together and we're around other people, it can be so easy to feel alone, because we don't have that safety net anymore, and other people seemingly know how to do everything.
Yeah.
So
have you ever had it where you like confide in someone, or not confide in them, but you open up to someone about the fact you're really anxious about a situation, you don't really know what you're doing, and then they're kind of like, oh, don't be silly, like, it's like they know what they're doing. Have you ever had that? If I was going on a date with someone and I was like, how am I meant to know, like, when I am meant to talk, or when I'm meant to ask them questions, or all of that sort of stuff? Like, say I said that to someone else who didn't feel the same way. I've had that before, and it's just completely affirmed this feeling of like, I'm an outsider, I'm not like other people. And it makes me so sad, because I honestly think I grew up being so convinced that I was weird, and like that I just stuck out like a sore thumb because I had no idea how I was meant to be doing things and how I was meant to be acting normal in situations. And yeah, I'm just having therapy now, aren't I? I'm just ranting at you.
I'm just taking it all in because my first thought then was I actually look up to you in the way that you handle situations and the way that you talk to people.
Okay, that's flabbergasting to me.
This is news. But I do, like the way that you speak in new situations or when we've gone to events or when you're speaking to people that I don't know. Even this morning we went for breakfast and the waitress came up to Ro and told her about how much she appreciated Ro, and it honestly melted my heart.
She was so lovely.
She was so adorable. The way that you handled that conversation, I was sat there like, I wouldn't know what to say in that moment. Like, I would literally freeze. You just managed to have a flowing conversation, and everything she said you had a reaction for, or you had something to say back to her that felt so natural. And I genuinely thought in that moment, I was like, wow, this just feels so not awkward.
Yeah.
And I feel like if that was me, I would somehow make it really awkward.
First of all, I know that you weren't saying that to like compliment me, but the part of me that's like so convinced that I'm the most socially awkward person in the world really wants to be like, thank you. That's a boost.
Yeah.
But also, part of me wonders if it's because, and oh my gosh, I was about to say like this is gonna make me sound like I'm super famous and get recognised all the time.
Stop.
I'm not even gonna say that. Like,
Yeah.
I have been really lucky in the fact that I've had people come up to me and share their stories with me and talk to me in public, and it's the loveliest thing in the world. Like, meeting people and getting to speak to them in person is so nice. But I do think the first times it happened, I had no idea how to act. So part of me is like, maybe I've
Learn how to do it.
kind of got practice.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess
yeah.
you need practice at everything in life. You need practice on how to talk to people, practice on how to public speak. Practice makes perfect. So maybe that's true. Maybe I just haven't been taught yet.
And I feel like I would be a terrible therapist right now because of what I was about to say. I was about to say, but do you not ever get really upset because other people don't need to practice? Because I get so upset about the fact that I don't just know how to do it and that everything feels so difficult.
But do you presume that everyone knows how to do it because maybe they've had practice already before you've had that encounter? So like, I looked at you this morning and I was like, wow, she just knows how to speak to people. But realistically, you didn't just know. It's because you've learned. So maybe everyone else has just learned before us. But then also that doesn't make sense because how can someone the same age, if not younger, know how to do it? Because how have they had more encounters with something than we have? So clearly they haven't learned something because they haven't had enough time to learn it.
Why do we deep everything we think?
I'm even deep in this right now.
No, but it's so true. It's so annoyingly true. And I mean, this episode is mainly here as a therapy session for us and to hopefully make some of you feel seen, because I never hear anyone talking about this. Like, I am so aware of my movements, my body, my face, not my body in a body image way, but like actually my spatial awareness.
Yeah, like your actions.
Yeah, the way I'm moving, the way I'm holding. If you, oh my God, if you're at a concert, how do you know when to put your hands up and bring them back down? Are you actively having the thought,
I need to put my hand up right now, or you just do it?
My hand goes up and then I'm like, no, I've just got to bring it, like,
bring it down.
Yeah, and I'm genuinely like, everyone's looking at the way I'm moving my hand. They're at a concert, they don't care.
No.
But I, even like situations like that, I'm like, how do I dance?
How do I hug someone when I meet them for the first time? I always have to think about what side I'm going to go to hug someone on for the first time I meet them. Is that
I accidentally end up smashing them in the vase.
Yeah, but I don't know if people do that. Like, I literally have to go up to them and be like, right, what way are they moving? Are they tilting to the left? Are they tilting to the right? Okay, I need to tilt to the left. I've just like...
And don't get Chasey started on a high five.
I feel like I remember this has happened probably like one of the first times we've met, and you probably don't even remember it. I feel like we've gone for a high five and I've just... Maybe it was the first time you came here and we filmed like the first episode of the podcast ever.
Yeah.
I feel like we've high-fived once there and you've gone to high five and be like, great job, and I've been like... You're like, how do I high five? Or like I've missed, and then it's not been awkward, but like for me it just feels awkward.
Whereas I would just be like, haha, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that I still remember because I'm just petrified of high fives, but also because I'm so aware of making situations awkward. I even said this to you yesterday. I had a meeting yesterday. At the end of it, I messaged you. Was it message or did I tell you this morning? I can't remember. I just said it went really well, but I just thought I was so awkward the whole time. I was so aware of what I was saying and trying to fit into the conversation and say the right thing at the right time without speaking over someone. And then I'd say something, but then it wouldn't really get acknowledged. And then I'd be like, do I say it again? Did they not hear me, or did they hear me and they just don't care? Like, all of this stuff, I just think about it too much.
I literally completely relate. It's just that thing of like, absolutely nothing I do is unthought out. There is nothing I do or say that I haven't thought about. And it's, people are always like, oh my gosh, you're so like aware and articulate. And I'm like, it's a curse.
Yeah, I feel that.
I love being able to feel deeply because it means I can feel joy really deeply. It means I can feel happiness deeply. It means I get things on a deeper level and I can help people, yada yada. But it also means that while I'm lying in silence at night, my brain is literally tying itself in knots, having thoughts about things that other people probably don't think twice about. Or maybe they do, because there are people like you and I have other friends that probably do deep things. So maybe people deep things more. Okay.
I was just trying to think, does everyone do this and no one just speaks about it? But then
Yeah,
it would be normal, and I feel like it's not normalised.
Yeah.
I really, honestly, just don't know. But I do know that sometimes it sucks and sometimes it's great.
I think just the fact that my entire life I have felt so much like an outsider, and then to get to an age now where I kind of, as I said, I kind of lean into my awkwardness a bit, because I'm just like, if you don't laugh about it, then it is awkward.
Yeah.
But if I laugh about it, then it's not. And I just feel like I went through life for so much of it just terrified all the time of how I was acting, how I was being perceived. Like, do you remember when we went to that Soldiers Nero event? The room was packed, right? There was people everywhere.
Yeah.
There was maybe like 3 or 4 people who walked towards the bar in front of me, who I was with.
Yeah.
They all squeezed around these people fine. I literally could not figure out how to maneuver my body around them, because in that moment I was just anxious, and my spatial awareness goes out the window, because I literally deep my existence to the point where it's like, I don't know how to move. I feel like I'm going to lose my balance if I walk. Like, it just, sometimes I get sad because I know that it's normal now, or not normal, but I know that like it's okay.
Yeah, it's not just you that goes through that.
But as a kid, I didn't know that, and I honestly just thought I was broken.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
No, I know. Little oval glasses regime. She was out here trying.
She was not broken.
No, she wasn't, but she thought she wasn't. I found school so stressful because literally every single Monday, my parents will remember this, every single Monday I came home from school with a raging headache.
Oh.
Like clockwork on a Monday. And I mean, I didn't go to the GP, so it was fine. It was just literally I think it was just that I was so stressed. I'd had the weekend to sort of start to unwind, and then I got so stressed on a Monday about being back into school that I would literally get a headache.
That makes sense, because you've had the whole day to overthink everything that you've done after being yourself for 2 days straight. That's so sad.
I know there will be a lot of other people who have felt like that too, and it's probably partly a neurodivergent thing. If you haven't listened to us for that long, I don't know, I don't mention every episode, but
I think you've literally mentioned it once.
Yeah, well, I have ADHD. I was diagnosed as an adult, but I have ADHD, and I do think some of it's tied up in that, but I also do think that everyone does just function differently to a point, and for people that overthink, it can feel really isolating, and you do just feel like you're an outsider, but you're not. There are people like me who feel the same.
It just feels normal as well at the same time. Like, I don't know any different. Well, I do know different from other people's experience. I'm just having a whole lot of thoughts right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sat here really, really pondering about life.
Pondering about deeping things.
Yeah. Do you think you've had any other situations in your life where you've felt like an outsider that's not just about overthinking?
Honestly, I think most things in life. Have you seen that thing on TikTok where it's like, everyone knows that I'm not a hat person?
Oh, yeah.
Every single thing in my life feels like that. I feel like I am literally faking my way through knowing what to do about everything, not just like socialising. Even like, I don't know, sometimes I post an Instagram story and I'm like, this is the sort of thing that someone cool would post. They don't know that I'm not actually cool, that I'm just doing this to look cool.
I feel that so much.
Like, and I don't post things to look cool, but say even the way I worded something, I'm like, that's like cool person wording. Like,
yeah, that's not me.
That's not me. It's so funny because I know how to correct those thoughts. Like, I know what the truth is, and I know that actually I'm just a person, and like there's no such thing as way of that's cool to type. Like, I know all of that is just deeping it for no reason, but I just have always moved through life feeling like some kind of fraud
Like you're pretending to be a person.
Yeah. Like,
You're an alien.
I'm secretly, where's the zipper? I'm actually...
He's wearing a human suit.
Yeah.
No, but I so feel that. I'm trying to think of examples, but...
Should we title this episode Roisin Wears a Human Suit?
It's just, it even goes down to the most random things, like making a coffee. I didn't know how to make a coffee until I was taught, which now I'm saying it feels normal. But say you've got like a group of people to make a coffee for, I feel like I suddenly forget how to make a coffee, or like
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to do that.
I've brought up this scenario before, so I'm sorry to keep bringing it up.
Oh no, I know what's
No,
coming.
you know what it is. The time that you...
Sorry. You fell down the escalator.
The time when you rode on the escalator. Okay, great example though, because you literally were sat there and you were like, are you not so embarrassed of me right now? And I hadn't even thought in my head to be embarrassed of you at all. I was like, this is literally just like, I'm concerned, are you okay? Second of all, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
No part of me had thought, I'm embarrassed to be seen with you.
Yeah. Because also, why would you care what random strangers think? Like, you're never going to see them again.
Yeah. I know that I probably would have felt the same way if I'd have been in your position.
Yeah. You have to put yourself in someone else's shoes and think outside of the box and twist the situation around and be like, if that person just did what I did, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So why do I think that everyone cares about what I just did? Because no one does.
One of your first thoughts after literally falling over on an escalator was like...
Could have broken a bone, but...
Yeah, you were like, are you not... It wasn't that deep in the moment.
No.
You just laughed it off. It was like...
I actually didn't really care deep down. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that came to my head, but...
But it was just even the idea that would be... Even the fact that that would be a thing that we would think. Because like, I would as well. Like, I know I would have thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember, why does everything happen on like escalators and stairs? I don't know. Anyway, I had a massive phobia of, I don't even know if it was a phobia, like stairs were a real issue for me like a year ago, 2 years ago. It started literally out of nowhere. I was coming home from a concert in London and I was on these stairs and everyone was moving really fast around me and I just suddenly got two in my head about walking down the stairs.
That's quite easily done because it can make you feel quite dizzy.
I got really dizzy, but I could not move. I couldn't take another step. Every single stair had just blended into one and I knew that if I took a step I was going to fly down all the stairs and fall.
Oh, no.
But also every time I walked downstairs after that for probably a year or a good while, I seriously thought I was going to fall down the stairs. Apart from if it was like the stairs in my house because I've always walked down them.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time, the person I was with, in my head I was thinking, and this made my panic attack so much worse, in my head I was thinking, oh my God, you're going to be so embarrassed of me because I'm crying on the stairs and everyone's moving around me and I can't walk. You're going to be so embarrassed of me. When in reality...
They just wanted to help you, most likely.
They just want you to be okay.
Yeah.
Why do we worry so much about how our actions reflect on others when others aren't even thinking about that?
I know, and it's also, this might sound really harsh, but it's also not their problem. Who cares if someone else is embarrassed because it's your life? Yeah. If they're embarrassed, it's their problem. They can carry on being embarrassed.
It's only embarrassing if you let it embarrass you.
That is the one.
I love that quote.
Yeah.
Actually, that has helped me in these sorts of feelings so much. Like the whole awkwardness thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's only awkward if you let it be awkward.
Exactly. So just laugh it off and be like, okay, that's just me.
Mm.
Even, we've mentioned this before, but like the first time we met, we both were really sweaty and we could have let that be really awkward because I would have been like, oh, I'm really hot and sweaty right now. Like,
and
this
I could
is
have been
really
like,
awkward. I don't
that's
want
gross,
to be near
use deodorant.
you. Yeah. Or we could have laughed it off and been like, haha, that's human. I feel the same. Let's go find some deodorant together.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, you actually really smell.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
It's not that deep unless you let it be deep.
When you start to accept every single part of yourself and you start to acknowledge that actually you know that you deep things, I think that's a big thing. Like, I know that I am deeping this and I know that this isn't a big deal to everyone else. Things become a lot easier. And today we've been having an off day, which is why we filmed this episode. We've both been deeping everything we've been saying so much.
Which has made me more upset because we've deeped it to the point where it's like, I feel like we made it worse because we deeped the fact that we were deeping it and then we're like, why are we deeping it? Yeah. Why are we making this such a big deal when it's not a big deal? And then I was in my head like, I don't want this to ruin the whole day because we've had such a lovely day and we've celebrated your birthday and we've celebrated launching the book, and then I'm sat here feeling deflated and it feels like I'm in a bad mood when I'm not in a bad mood with you, and I don't want you to feel like you're having a bad time because we're having an amazing time and I just enjoy being in your company. But
and every time I was like, where's the vibe gone? I was like, she's going to think that...
See, I didn't even know you were thinking that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, when I say that, you're going to think that I've said that, like, your house is a terrible vibe and I'm having a terrible time, but I'm not having a terrible time. But, like, I'm not kidding, we are literally best friends. Like, I
Yeah.
could tell you anything.
Exactly.
And I don't worry about the way I behave around you, yet I
No.
still have those thoughts. And
Yeah.
I think it's because today's like a particularly off day, because I have worked through so many of these feelings.
Yeah.
And I genuinely don't feel socially awkward in the way that I used to, because I've accepted myself so much and been like, yeah, I can be a bit awkward sometimes. Sometimes I do say things like, I was having a conversation with my mum's friend once, and I literally said to her, it was actually quite recent, she had like quite a difficult thing happen recently, and I was like, I would say you can talk to me, but talk to my mum, because why would you want to talk to me? I literally said that to her.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
But then I just started laughing. I was like, that's the weirdest thing. Like, why would I say that? And she just sort of laughed as well. Like, and it actually wasn't awkward, because I was just like, why did I say that? If I'd have just walked off, like, maybe it would have been a little bit.
She would have thought what I said. I just deeped what I said just then. I was like, she probably thought, what? But because you
we
laughed
both
it off.
did. But we both had a laugh about it.
Yeah, because you laughed it off and made it not awkward. She wouldn't have thought what I just said. She would have thought, because you verbalised the fact that it was just a bit awkward, which is fine.
But like, also, if you don't do that, the people aren't going to be thinking about it anyway. They're not going to be. What?
I was going to say, should we open up about things that we've said that we think about at night?
We were going to do this as a TikTok. Should we do it right now?
Should we just do it to everyone?
Because we're never going to make the TikTok, let's be honest.
Hi everyone, it's JC from the future here, just letting you know that this episode has been split into 2 parts, so please jump on over to part 2 to hear the rest.